Hi everybody. Welcome to a special edition of J. Stern Designs Fitting and Pattern Perfection.
I guess so.
This is my good friend Marie.
Hi everyone.
We are 6 feet apart. We're social distancing in her room. She has a wonderful studio. She teaches classes down here and she does beautiful quilting and all sorts of wonderfulness.
We'll give you a virtual tour after.
Yes, we'll give you, I'll snap some pics and I'll share those with you during the video. Today we're making face masks. So we thought we would production sew them. So we are actually using a pattern that's very common. And I'll just tell you, I made a photocopy of mine from Mimi G Style, the pattern, and she has a lot of good information in her description of her video, so if you want to go check that out, I'll put a link to Mimi G under this video so you can see her version. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently because we're going to be production sewing so we can get a lot done in a short amount of time. What else? Anything? No, so we're just going to start sewing. We're just going to start sewing, and we'll share the processes as we go along. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. All right, good. All right, so you're going to watch Marie. She's doing some cutting. We're cutting 2 outsides and 2 linings. So we decided we're going to use the same. Oh, I forgot my rotary cutter.
Oh, I cleaned this one, so you can grab that one. Yeah, and don't make the mistake. Put your pieces right side together, which I didn't, but I'm getting enough out of here that I can fix it, because as sewers we know, we fix all kind of boo-boos as we go along.
That's right. If there aren't boo-boos, then it's not sewing.
Design challenges.
Designer details.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay.
Oh, well, you know what I was thinking?
Then I'm going to go this way.
I know, but what if I cut out all of the outside and you cut out all the inside, so we don't have to worry about flipping it back and forth?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you want me to give you half of this print?
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't use those, so I gotta...
So I'll just cut it in half, and then you can cut out...
Okay.
And that will give us...
Yep.
So one of us... Do you want me to do the... I'll cut my... You cut out the outside, I'll cut out the inside?
Yep.
All right. All right, so I'm going to fold mine, so I'm cutting through 2 layers, 4 layers, so I can cut 2 out at a time. And I cut off my extra piece. So Marie's going to cut out the outside, and I'm going to cut the lining shorter. So I cut that piece off.
How's that blade? Is that blade sharp enough?
It's good. It's perfect, Marie. I was supposed to bring my own rotary cutter and I forgot. So I'm already a problem child. Marie's used to that though. Yay! There's my first set of 2. Alright, let me just keep going.
So we're totally set up on opposite sides of a big table. So we're socially distanced.
My husband rolled his eyes when I told him I was going to Marie's house, but I would be socially distant.
But we have our own spaces, our own machines. So I'm doing the outsides, right?
Right.
On this. I keep scraps because I always, as a quilter, always have scraps.
I'm not
Scrap
going to throw
pile.
anything away. I can see that you do use your scraps.
I do. And I use my salvages, which I like to trim and keep.
Oh.
How many sets of those are you getting?
I will have, I'm hoping to get, I might be able to get 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay.
Hoping for 8. Okay, so, all right, so Marie is going to tell us the next step. We've made our neat piles and we've put them right sides together.
So we have our outside and our inside, our lining. Okay, so I have my 1/4 inch put on, and I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this is the inside, the lining, and this is the outside. And I'm just going to continue sewing my seams. I'm not even going to stop. Just going to go from one to the next.
Oh, and they're all attached so they won't fall apart.
They won't fall apart.
That's a wonderful idea, Marie.
A little quilting trick.
All right. Sewing the center front.
Center
seam.
front.
All right. Yep. All right, we'll be right back with the next step as soon as we get to it. All right, so you can see Marie did this beautiful job, and look at how they're all attached so they don't get lost. Isn't that pretty? All right, so the next step is I'm going to snip them apart, and as I snip them apart, and I'm going to just press in here, I'm going to press it flat to one side. And I'm going to come in from both sides. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Let me see. Like that. All right, see, and then it makes this lovely center front seam. So I'm going to go ahead and press them flat on the table, and I'll press one in one direction and one in the other direction, like that. Okay, so see, it's pressed in one direction. Looks like that. Very nice. Okay, in the spirit of production sewing, Marie is sewing all of the center fronts of the lining and the outer, and then I'm pressing the seam. Well, I started pressing seams and then I realized we really don't need to. So what I'm doing is I'm pinning the sets right sides together, and I'm putting one pin at the top and one pin at the bottom, and I'm offsetting the seams so that one's to the left and one's to the right. So by the time Marie finishes all those center front seams, I will have sets for her to sew the top and bottom seam, and we'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, so after it's turned right side out, the next step is to press the ends. So you can see here, the lining only extends this far. So I've pressed this flat. So you press it in 3/8 of an inch, like this. And then you're going to press it again. Like this. And this is what makes the casing for the elastic. Oops. Okay. All right, so see, I've got two sides here. So now we're just going to, actually Marie is going to sew down here. Marie is amazing. Her sewing. I feel like a little bit like a slave driver.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you over there what she's doing in a second. Oops. All right, let's go over and look at Marie. She's still working on sewing the tops and bottoms of the masks.
And you can see that not everything matches up sometimes.
See, so here's the pile she's working on, so she still has quite a bit. But see how nice I pinned for her? Look at those piles. Luxury, Marie.
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
No, not until you finish the pile. All right, now see how nice she's working?
Slave driver.
I know. It's for a good cause.
It is. It's for a good cause.
We're going to get little angel wings for Marie. Okay.
Next to my devil horns.
Yeah, so when Marie's finished sewing the tops and bottoms, then we will show you how to sew those casings for the elastic. So I've done my best pressing job that I can do, and you press the ends first under a 3/8 and then again, and there's nice creases. So the next step is to sew along the folded edge to create a casing for the elastic. Marie's just switching her foot out from a 1/4 inch foot to a standard, right?
Yep.
Marie's a phenomenal sewer.
And I'm going to...
You can say yes, I am.
Oh, I am. Had enough experience. I'm going to back stitch a little. So we're just going to sew close to the edge, the folded edge, and back stitch. we've
See how
made a
that
nice
looks?
little casing.
Yeah, hold that up like this so they can see.
Yeah.
How nice. Did you see that torture tool she just used? That's her seam ripper. Oh my God. All right, so see that nice seam? Very nice.
We'll just do the other side.
Oh, very nice.
There we go.
All right, so Marie is going to show you an example of really efficient sewing. She's going to production sew these pieces, and watch what she's doing.
I already have.
She's stopping and starting without cutting anything. And this is where she's sewing the ends down to finish the ends and make the casing for the elastic. Ooh, is that the last one, Marie?
This is the last one.
This is the last one, you guys. Woohoo!
Just have the other side to do. So then I just turn and I start going up the other side. Instead of stopping and starting and having to cut your thread. And also there's a little bit thick on the edges, and sometimes the machine likes to jam up a little bit, and having it do this, you avoid that.
So the piece behind actually acts as a lead-in?
Yeah, and it also it jams because your foot is now unbalanced when it goes over a thick spot. And so with it, the back half of the foot still on the other piece of fabric, it keeps the foot balanced and flat. It's not jamming, because if I do one at a time, when I try to reverse back here, it kind of jams up. So this way it doesn't do that. And you just fly. So we have this little flag, this little flag of flags.
You're in really tight now so they can see.
I'm sewing close to the edge of the fold. Two more.
Woohoo, we're down to the last two. This is so exciting.
Here's our patriotic masks.
Oh, very nice, Marie.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so Marie's going to show you the last step. We're going to put the elastic in the casing, and then she's going to show you an easy way to sew it together, because we tested that. We had a few false starts. So
putting your elastic through this little casing that we made on the side, you can use the traditional safety pin method if you want to put your elastic through like this. You know, like this, and you can go through this way. Trying not to get caught in the little fold. You can do that, but I have this big needle and I have no idea where I got it, but I've had it forever. And so I'm putting the head of the needle through the casing. It fits the 1/4 inch elastic beautifully, and I just pull it through like that.
that's slick. I like that.
I like that. every once in a while, one of these tools that's been in my treasure box forever comes in handy. So what we're going to do is just even them off. Make sure that the elastic isn't twisted, which it is right now. We want that elastic to be flat. And then I'm going to take these two ends and overlap them lengthwise like that. And I'm going to put a pin. I think I'm overlapping them about 1/2 inch. And I'm going to pin them like this. And then I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew it. So I put my machine on a stepped zigzag. You can do a regular zigzag if that's what you have. And I increased the width a little bit, but not the length. So I had a white one here, and I'm placing that right under the foot.
Just wait a minute.
Okay, so now I'm gonna pull a little bit on the elastic to get it going through, and then I'm gonna back stitch. This part does not have to be pretty. You just want that elastic to stay really, really tight. You don't want it to come apart. So I'll do the one in black, and you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Again, I'm doing it underneath the foot, and this way is easier to get it under your foot and have it actually stay there. I'm going to put the needle down. I'm going to try and take that pin out and see. The pin is actually giving me a little trouble. There we go. And now I'm just going to reverse. But 2 rows of that should be really good and secure of zigzag stitch. Like I said, it's not pretty, but it's doing the job.
Very good.
So then what we do is we pull that elastic to the side into the casing and adjust the elastic. So we've got it top and bottom. And that'll go over the head.
Wonderful.
And you're gonna model it, not me.
All right, I'll model it.
Okay.
All right.
Ta-da!
It's very secure. It's really against my face, see?
Yep.
And we're hoping these can go over the N95 masks to protect the real filter. And you can see in the back of my lovely hairdo how I've got them here so it's not rubbing on my ears.
Yep.
All right, so that's that.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.